author dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws to pause, find phrases. Turning them corners, your spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalms singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the nappy blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in See, I've got to switch it to gray mode. I was playing with stuff. I've got everything that looks good except the Bible app, or I should say the browser window with Net Bible will not go to black, will not go to dark mode unless I fully switch my whole theme, which I guess I've got to do. Otherwise, you can see how much light that screen is putting off on me. So, I wish I could figure out how to get it not to be so stinking dark. Let's try dusk mode. Papstio! Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Lucis in here. Having a fun morning with the emote dance party. The emote dance party. All right. We're going to be talking fasting today, Papstio. I know that you said you were interested in and or a practitioner of the fast. So would love to get you in conversation around that. Okay. I need to shrink a dink. There we are. Now we're inside the box. You fast every Wednesday and 3 weeks at the beginning of the year. Ooh, every Wednesday. Tell me what is your intended focus as you pray, or as you fast, I should say. What is your intended focus on the weekly versus the yearly? Okay, so I did do a quick search here of the word fast. Let me just... There we go. A bit bigger there. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Didn't like the results there. Eamon, in an organization that fasts for women in vein of Ephesians 5? Oh, in the vein of. I'm like, why are they fasting in vain? In the vein of Ephesians 5. Oh. Lucis, you were thinking, if I meet someone IRL, how are they going to know me? And then I thought, I'll have to wear 5 blinking lights since I can't wear an emote. Well, maybe you can. Maybe you can wear an emote. At ReachCon last year, there was a person that had a backpack that had an LED screen on it that was always playing videos on the backpack. So you could do that. But I get you, Lucis. That's one of the things, too, with a lot of people, like, you see me, so you could identify me. They had to come up and introduce themselves to me to say who they were. So, yeah, but if you are a non-streamer, you are still welcome at ReachCon. Also, by the way, where was it? I know I saw it earlier. Let me find it. It was pretty cool, I thought, but I don't remember what the whole piece was. Let me find it. Where was it? Oh, it might be here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let me put this in the... And, well, I guess I'll do it this way. Thought I hit paste and go. Why didn't you not go? There we go. All right, so I mentioned in the Discord about maybe taking part of my stream and doing exercise on stream. So here's the promo for, and you're welcome to all join this, everybody.
Welcome to the 90-Day Helldivers Challenge. Starts March 3rd, 2025. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Say no to bugs. Say yes to get buff. For Super Earth and a Super You.
Get here now!
Okay, it's just a silly little promo. But anyway, so it's a 90-day challenge is what it is. And they made a little promo on leveling up. So I will be doing that is what I will be doing. And I'm just trying to figure out it. You can't hear it? That's weird. Okay, I'll do it again. We turn up desktop audio. Let me know if it's too loud now.
Welcome to the 90-Day Helldivers Challenge. Starts March 3rd, 2025.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Say no to bugs. Say yes to get buff. For Super Earth and a Super You.
Get here now!
Okay, that's it. That's the totality of it. Just a little silly promo. Anyway, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do that, and I'm debating on do I try to do the 10 a.m. EST, and then on a few days when I can't make it, I'll be okay, or do I do the 8 a.m. EST, and I start my stream out with a workout, and then we get to Bible afterwards. So you'll have to give me your thoughts in the Discord on doing that. But I really want to stay connected and do that. Living Frost, good morning. God bless you all in the name of Jesus. I hope you are all having an amazing morning so far. Have an amazing stream. Thank you, Living Frost. Appreciate that, friend. Okay. So if we're looking over here, we're on Transform Thursday, and we are looking at things to transform our walk, our life, and those things. So you know what I did not put in here would be really things. Well, I guess fasting does cover eating on some level, but I'm just going to put exercise, and we may get to that, and healthy eating. Now, we could argue about are those spiritual disciplines or they're just those things that are healthy, but I think if you have a healthy respect for food, which we'll talk about in the fasting aspect of things, if you have a healthy approach to taking care of your body, those are stewardship aspects. So we probably won't do those right away, but we can look at those. So, looking at fasting. Now, as we looked at our list, let me go back to it a minute. Oh, no, I want to go to here. I want to go to here. Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. Nope, wrong one. Ah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, sounds like transform, like a good workout day. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is I have Tuesday at 10 and Thursday at 10 and Wednesday at 9 meetings, and sometimes 10 on Wednesday. So making that on a consistent basis at the 10 o'clock schedule, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would not work. So it's like, but it's in the middle of my stream. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it during my stream, I might as well go ahead and stream me working out, which would just be me in this room watching it, listening on my earbuds, probably doing whatever it is. And how much I would be talking and chatting and reading the chat, I have no idea how well that would work. But we could certainly do it for a week and then go, man, this just stinks, and I could start an hour later or a half an hour and see what happens. So anyway, give me your thoughts on that. I'm open to it. It starts March 3rd, so we've got a couple of weeks before making that decision. Okay, so when we're looking at spiritual disciplines, The way this one is put together is there are things of abstaining from, of letting go, of putting off. So solitude is being alone with God. So it is putting off, letting go of the busyness of life. Fasting is abstaining from food to express our dependence on God. Fasting is meant to be an act of humbling oneself before God to seek his help and deliverance. It is often associated with repentance. So we got a couple of passages, Deuteronomy, Matthew. I'll have to make sure. Denial, however, is intentionally denying yourself certain legitimate pleasures to find your sufficiency in God or a higher fulfillment. So when you may hear Catholics talk about giving up something for Lent, it's more of a denial. So I'm going to deny myself chocolate for Lent. That's a giving up. Fasting is food. Now, if you talk about social media fast, it really is denial. Like, I'm going to deny myself the pleasure and the busyness and what else comes with scrolling on social media and the like. Sorry, I just saw something whoosh past my window, and I don't know what it was. Squirrel. Anyway, so I think there's a distinction between the two. If someone says, I'm fasting from social media, okay, fine. I'm not worried about you calling it that. You know what you mean. You know what you're doing. You may be applying fasting to things that aren't food, and fasting, strictly speaking, is about food. But, you know, we do that kind of stuff all the time. So, like, we use metaphors like, I was swimming in debt. Okay? Not swimming, but we use metaphors. So, yeah, everyone knows what you mean when you say that. So, I'm just telling you, you might get some people who will be finicky about that. And squirrel, yes, squirrel. Okay. So fasting, we got Deuteronomy and Matthew 8. So let's look at the Old Testament first. I always like to see first usage of it. Exodus, there we go. Oh, that's fasten, not fast. Fasten. Okay, we're getting some fasten. It's a problem when you look up English words. Fasten. Fasten caps on them. Fastened. Okay. Looks like we're going to end up. Oh, there we go. Leviticus, fastened. Okay, never mind. We're still on Numbers, fastened. Okay, it's Deuteronomy. There we go. Deuteronomy 4:4. Here we go. In context. Okay, you know what? I want to read full chapter. I thought they'd start with verse 1 anyway. Now Israel, hear the decrees and laws I am about to teach you. Follow them so that you may live and may go in and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you. Do not add to what I command you, and do not subtract from it, but keep the commands of the Lord your God I give you. Okay, so just an aside here, when we talk about do we as Christians need to do certain things, if I am not of a descendant of biologically from those who are descendant from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 tribes, this was a covenant made specifically with those who were descendants for them and their descendants. Now, I could, by claiming to be a descendant of Abraham, feel I need to do these things, but these are also tied to the land, and so these are commands that are specific for them as a nation, and they are not, I think, for all people at all places and all times. So that's how I see that. So anyway, Israel, here's the things. You're going to the land. You're going to take possession. Here is what you need to do. Don't add to it. Don't subtract from it. So when people say, but you don't obey the dietary laws of the Old Testament, no, I don't. I'm not Jewish. and those were given to the Jews to follow. You don't follow some of the other laws, like, fabrics put together with other fabrics. Wearing the church digital shirt today. So, no, I don't do that. You saw with your own eyes what the Lord did at Baal Peor. The Lord your God destroyed from among you everyone who followed Baal of Peor. But all of you held fast to the Lord your God and are still alive. Oh, held fast. I thought this was going to get into a fast. Oh. Okay, that isn't a fast. That is the word fast. You held fast. Sorry. I thought it was holding a fast. Well, we're on the wrong track, but that connected anyway. Fear the Lord. Hold fast to him. Okay, I thought we were going to get... All right. Next section. We're holding fast. Not we're holding a fast. I read that wrong. Hold fast to him. Hold fast to him. Wow, there's a whole lot of hold fast to him. Okay, must be this translation. Because over here it said in Deuteronomy 8, 3 through 5. Deuteronomy 8, 3 through 5. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it this way. On the screen it says reading Proverbs. Oh, thank you. I don't always remember to change that, so let me get that changed. Reading fasting. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's okay. All the commands which I command thee this day shall observe, remember, and humble thee, and prove in their heart whether or not keepest the commands. And he humble thee, and suffer thee to hunger, and feed thee with manna, which thou knowest, neither thy fathers know, that Okay, am I in the right spot? Doesn't Deuteronomy 8, 3 through 5. Am I in Deuteronomy 8? Okay. But every word that proceeds from the mouth of God doth man live. Neither did thy foot swell. Okay, that doesn't sound like a fast to me. I gotta go. Let me try it over here. Let me go try it over here. Remember how the Lord led you all the way to the wilderness for 40 years to humble and test you. He humbled you, causing you to hunger, and then feeding you with manna, and neither nor your ancestors had known to teach you that man does not live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Your clothes did not wear out, and your feet did not swell for 40 years. Know then in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, the Lord disciplines you. Okay, so yeah, there's this whole aspect. Maybe instead of it reading should say topic. Could, but the rest of the days of the week it is reading, so I don't know. Good thought. There is a connection here of the trust of God. One of the things that we have is God providing daily for them. So a lot of these things that when you are doing them, it is a level of trust. Am I trusting God to provide food for me? Or am I working? Will I have to work on the Sabbath day? Because if I don't, I'll go hungry. Well, in the desert, in the wilderness, for 40 years, God provided manna. They did not have to do anything but go and collect it and eat it. So So I don't know why they're saying this other than the connection to God's provision. I was looking specifically for the commands to hold a fast. Wow. I've never had this much problem looking it up before. So that's not what I want. We're going to do this. We'll go with Nehemiah. And we'll start there and try to find our word. Said I can do the root of it and get to it. So, Some. Some.
Strong's H, 6685. Psalm.
Gigadogi. Is that it? Gigadogi. Welcome in, friend. Okay, so is this the... Okay, so it also has an alternate here. I'm going to quick look that up. That's the noun. Som.
Strong's H, 6684. Soon.
Words.
Soon.
Words. The bird is a word. Love that you say it. Haha. How are you? Did I say it right? That's what I want to do. I'm doing well. Gigadoge. Hope that's right. I hate mispronouncing people's names. Okay. I thought in the commands, I must be missing a word. Here we have Judges. And all the people went up and came into the house of the Lord, and they wept, and they sat before the Lord, and they fasted until evening, and they offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. They fasted on that. I thought there was. Why can I not find it? Let me go here. Let's try that. It's Dougie. Oh, Gigadougie. But I enjoy your pronunciation better. I'm happy to have nicknames. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Dougie. Okay.
Gigadoogie just followed.
And they said Gigadoogie. Giga. Is that a tech reference? Or my brain wanted to go to Gig'em as an Aggie reference, but I'm not sure which way to go. I'm thinking gigabyte. Pop Tater Head. Good morning, Flat Cap and Chat. May y'all have a blessed day. Thank you, friend. Thank you. Okay, majority of feasts in Israel on the calendar. Passover, unleavened fruits. I thought there was. That's just going to feast in meaning. Okay. Yeah, it's not giving me what I want. Okay. Oh. You know what I'm going to have to do here? I'm going to have to go look up in my Google Drive and find my slideshow. I think it's just what I want to do. Okay. Let's just do that. Oh, this'll be fun. This'll be fun. Okay. Do I have a video in here? Is the video going to load? Okay. Is the video going to load? Okay. Must not be loading. Lurking while working. Thank you, Subdue. Okay. Oh, When I did this as a sermon, I called it the perks of fasting and prayer. All right. Giga. You got it from the internet name Giga Chad. Just thought it would be funny if I use Giga in your name too. I love it. It's pretty cool. Giga. Okay. I don't know the internet name Giga Chad, but I'm not. If there's something that is very popular and it's in common stuff, I'm likely to not know it. So I'm more of a fringe kind of guy. You know, if very few people know, if it's sus over here on the side, if it's you got to be in the right friends to know it, I'm more inclined to know those things. Okay. And I see, I'm sorry about the coloration there. Just seeing how bad it is. But I think this is big enough font. You should be able to read it with not much difficulty. I will have to, at some point, change these slides. So, oops. So this is how I usually start it out. So in Matthew 6:5 and verse 6, Jesus says, when you pray. So that's how he starts. And I would say, for most people, at some point, they do pray. Maybe not on a regular basis, maybe not on a consistent basis, maybe, just not a great prayer life, but I think people do pray. So I agree with Jesus, okay? People are going to pray. But then Jesus says, when you fast, and here's where I go, I disagree with you, Jesus, because people don't fast. They're not fasting. So when you fast, we don't have the concerns that he was addressing necessarily, because they may not be entirely what was already going on. Pop Taterhead, any thoughts on fasting being a private thing and not to be advertised? Oh yeah, let's talk about that in a minute. All good, man. You've become more fringe with stuff too. Yeah. I'm over in the, I'm not in the, tell me a song that's on the radio that's popular, and I'm going to have no idea. And I haven't for a long time. Okay. So your question, let me find the slide here. I'm going to try to scroll a minute and find the passage, and then I'll come back. Okay. The passage that Jesus is teaching this is, we already just went through this. Oh, did we? Well, we're close to it. We may not have actually hit it. We might have touched on it. It's a Sermon on the Mount, so it is 5. So we did go through it. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogue and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly, I tell you, they've received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. So we looked at that earlier this week. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like the pagans, who think that they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask. This is how you should pray. I'm going to just go ahead and skip that because I want to focus on prayer. In the same way, not into the modern music stuff that much. All right. Okay. Oh, there it is. I tell you, they have received their reward in full. So he's talking about prayer. He's talking about the attitude. He's talking about the motivation for it. And then he says, but when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Okay. So this is about procedural, which is what your question is about. Jesus assumes fasting, okay? Why does Jesus assume fasting? because different groups of people at the time had a standard fasting day. So they had a fasting day, and culturally, everyone knew that they were fasting on that day. If you were a Pharisee, I think it was Wednesday. Let me just go look that up a minute. Pharisee fasting day. Pharisee fasting day. The Pharisees were also known for their fasting. The Mosaic Law required that one fast each year, Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. However, the Pharisees went much further. They fasted twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. Okay, there it is. Which days are they? Which Mondays and Thursdays? Okay. So, if it was Monday and you saw a Pharisee, you knew they were fasting. If it was Thursday and you saw a Pharisee, you knew it was fasting. So what they were doing to call attention to the perceived holiness of the fast that they were doing, they would make themselves look disheveled. They would make themselves look, well, they would. So one of the things, we're jumping in the New Testament here, but the Old Testament, when we're looking at fasting, it usually talks about fasting in the vein of putting on sackcloth and ashes and fasting. Those things would go together in the form of repentance, of the focus of repentance, of abstaining from food, of putting on an emotion on the outside that would match the inner emotion that you are facing. So that was part of the whole thing. So what they're doing, however, is to make themselves look holy. They're drawing attention to themselves by looking like they're going through the motions of repentance, but their motivation is for you to pay attention to them. So, I thought it was there. Where was I looking it up? Is it here? Where did I just look it up? Oh, that's right. I was doing my slides. I'm like, where is it? It's in my slides. Duh. Oh, wrong slide. Okay. But when you fast. So they are fasting on Mondays and Thursdays. He's addressing them. Other groups would fast on other days. Yes, this is totally exclusively fasting from food. That is the only understanding in Scripture of fasting is abstaining from food. So, and I don't know their full regulations if they are doing abstaining from food during the day. So I'm certainly they are skipping lunch. Are they doing more of the Ramadan style where they are? Let me just go look a minute. Pharisee fasting practice. Because I thought I knew what it was, but now I'm not so sure anymore. What kind of fast do the Pharisees do? Pharisees practice fasting twice a week to bring Israel as a nation closer to God. Voluntary fasting was meant to communicate directly to God as a means of piety beyond refraining from food. What does it? Okay. What are the practices of the Pharisees? How many times the Pharisees fast? Proper way to fast according to the Bible. Okay. So I'm not sure if they did a daylight fast, which would be a Ramadan-style fast, which is what I thought I had heard traditionally was the way that Jewish people fast. I'm not so sure anymore. Let me just put it that way. Jewish. Two major fasts call for from sundown on the day before to sundown on the day after, and 4 minor fasts that call from sunrise to sundown. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So, where are the passages on those? So, they had 2 different kinds of fast. One from sundown to sundown, and the other from... So this being a voluntary fast, I'm going to assume it is daylight hour fasting only. Yom Kippur. Okay. That's got some Jewish or some German in there. I can't read that. 2 major fasts, 2 minor fasts, the 6 fasting days. A simple mnemonic trick has to remember the 6 fasting days. 2 major ones are referred to as black, the 9th of Av, and white, Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippur is Day of Atonement. 2 of the minor ones are known as women and men because they commemorate the deeds of 2 persons, Queen Esther and Governor Gedaliah. The 2 fasts refer to the temple in Jerusalem. Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, July, August, is a major fast in the Jewish calendar. Traditionally, Jews fast for 25 hours in commemoration of the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. So this would not be one that Jesus practiced. According to tradition, both first and second temple were destroyed on the date. Oh, so maybe they would have if it was celebrating the first temple destruction. Respectfully, it additionally to abstain from food and drink to observe Tish B'Av. Aside from Tish B'Av, the main connection of destruction of the temples, Yom Kippur, fast of Esther, fast of Gedaliah, the 10th of Tevet, some minor fast, the 7th of Tammuz. Okay. So, going back to what they are practicing. The Pharisees have gone beyond the cultural norm of everyone who is celebrating these, whatever those were the same days in Jesus' time or not, is not important. There were specific days for fasting, and what they're doing is they are making themselves look like they are fasting. They're voluntary fasting, but what they're doing is they are seeking praise from other people to look at how holy they are. They are fasting and seeking God on behalf of our nation. So we should praise them for what they are doing, would be part of what is going on. So Jesus is saying, no, you have your reward. He's talking about the perceived holiness of my actions before other people. The fact that the bulk of Christianity does not fast, the closest you might get would be during the season of Lent, when as a good Catholic you would abstain from something while you are fasting. So in that case, then don't draw attention to yourself for fasting. I think this is drawing attention to yourself from bystanders to see that you are fasting. This is not, I would say, sharing your fast with other people. In fact, I would say on some level, if I am sharing my fast with other people, I am usually asking them for some input, some connection with them, things I can be praying for them, or if I'm praying for a specific organization, like anyone that I'm connected with there, like I might fast for the Church Digital. I might fast for Safe Streamers. I might take a day and do a fast for them specifically, or for ReachCon, whatever it might be. I'm going to fast and bring them before God. I might let them know, so if they have prayer requests, I can pray them specifically when I'm fasting. Jesus assumes fasting. And why? Because it's a common practice of the day. I'm starting to, in the last 3 years, run into more and more people who are starting to practice fasting. I get really excited about that, talking about fasting. So, is it not right to tell people you're fasting? Depends on your motivation. Jesus is attacking motivation when he's talking about these things. They're fasting to draw attention to themselves, to point out, this guy here is holier than you. Then that's a no-go. That's a no-go. I'm going to make myself look all disheveled. The other thing to not do is just constantly talk about all day long. Oh, man, I'm so hungry. Oh, man, I'm so hungry. Well, why don't you eat some? Oh, I'm fasting. That would fall in line with this, I would think, because I'm doing it, drawing attention to myself. Now, on the other hand, if I were to turn to a friend of mine, like Subdue the Day, and, hey, welcome in, Mad Mama's Farm. If I were to turn to a friend of mine like Subdue and say, hey, man, I'm fasting. I know both of us do fasting. I'm struggling right now. I'm really, really feeling hungry. I need some prayers for strength to continue my fast going forward. I'm inviting him in to participate in what I'm doing. I'm not drawing attention to myself to make myself look holy. I'm working with a friend in regards to that. So Pop, does that make sense on the whole thing that Scripture here that Jesus is talking about of getting your reward, of doing it as a flashy show? Well, actually, not a non-flashy show, but to draw attention to yourself. I hope that makes sense. So addressing that, letting people know, hey, I think it's okay. Depending on how you do it, depending on the why you're sharing it, it's fine. Dougie, on your second read through of the Bible, this is a cool topic to talk about. Oh, thank you. So it is saying that it's not a good thing for us to fast together as a group either. No. That's that. Okay, let me get into that too. Good timing on the fasting topic. Hey, thanks. Are you in the middle of fasting? So I do think it's a good thing to fast together. Why? Because you and I, who might be fasting together for a particular thing, or we as an organization or as a community might choose to fast together, we do it in a manner to build people up. So this is talking about I'm trying to draw attention to myself. You fasted yesterday. Oh, cool, man. Papstio, me too. Yeah, Papstio was telling us Wednesdays are fast day for Papstio. So, since we do not live in a culture that has a set day of the week for everyone to fast, as a church, I have often set a day, or I would call for a day of fasting and prayer. Why? So that we collectively can participate together in doing something. And I'm not doing that to draw attention to us. I'm doing that so that we can humble ourselves and approach the throne of God in regard to it. Now, if I haven't said this already, I will say it, and I'll say it again repeatedly. As I am talking about fasting, I am not giving medical advice, okay? There are plenty of people who have physical reasons and physical conditions in which fasting is not something that they should do or participate in. They may do some denial. We were talking about that earlier, where they'll abstain from a certain type of food, but not able to fully fast altogether. Also, I do not recommend anyone under 20 to do any kind of prolonged fasting at all. If you want to give up a meal, I don't see that that's going to have much impact. But if you are under 20 and your body is still growing, and it could be detrimental, so I don't recommend a fast to those who are younger, and I don't recommend fasting to anyone who's pregnant. So yeah, there's lots of health reasons why people may not fast. So, so why do we fast? Okay. Jesus fasts to prepare for ministry. So this is a solo fast that he does. He spent 40 days and nights in the wilderness fasting. We could go look up all of those passages and read through the whole of it. I don't know if we need to do all of those. Yeah, we're talking fasting and then fruits being passed around. That's all fun. Some cookies as well. Okay. So he's doing it to prepare for ministry. So let's go just pull these up real quick. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum. I hope I clarified your question there. Yeah, we can do this corporately. I don't know what that little gap at the bottom is there. It's like a little cover. Daniel fast has fruit. And very natural cookies, mostly homemade. Yeah. And I know the term Daniel fast. If you don't know that, really it's more denial than fast. But like I said earlier, I don't care if you use the word fast. People know what you mean when you use it. But you might run into other people who will go, no, you're still eating. Anyway. When Daniel and his 3 friends refused the king's meat and wine, it says what they ate. They ate vegetables. And then you have to try to figure out what exactly and precisely might have been those vegetables he would have eaten. And then you eat just those things and drink just water. That is usually the direction of a Daniel fast. So it's going to be beans and lentils and grains would be a Daniel fast. Mel, welcome in. Okay. Then Jesus, led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting 40 days and nights, he was hungry. That's it. Sunshine Henny. Is it Hanny? Sunshine Hanny. Welcome in. Yes, some of your meds require food. Daniel fast are the most intense you can do. Need your protein. Hannah. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to... I've not seen Hannah spelled N-E. That's why I was confused. So it is Sunshine Hannah. Okay. Welcome in, Sunshine. I have several friends named Sunshine, and I have known a few Sunshines in real life, by the way, too. So, yes. So that's a good observation on your part. I'm watching that what you need in medication is a piece that is going to be needed. Oh, this is Norwegian spelling. I did not know that. Well, thank you for informing me. I love spellings from other countries. Intentionally did that with one of my sons. Spelled his name a different spelling from a different country. So he was probably hungry during the fast as well. You think so? Artsy, I've never thought of Daniel being hungry during that fast. It just says what he ate was going to be things that were not the meat, which would have probably been sacrificed to idols, and the wine, which may also have been sacrificed to idols, but he might just be abstaining from the type of alcohol that it is, but those could have been things offered. Oh, you meant Jesus. Sorry. Okay, that makes totally more sense. I was thinking the Daniel fast. Okay, yes. Well, here it says, he was hungry. Yes, I assume after 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. Okay, let's scroll down to the next one. I'm not going to go into the whole topic here, but the fast takes place prior to Jesus being tempted. And then Mark, at once the Spirit led him into the wilderness, and he was in the wilderness 40 days, being tempted by Satan. He was with the wild animals, and the angels tempted him. Okay, here it doesn't tell us he was fasting, but it does sound like the whole 40 days he was being tempted. What would the tempting may have been is to eat. Then we get a thing at the end where there is a temptation to eat. And what are we in here? Luke, Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, left the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, where for 40 days he was tempted by the devil. He ate nothing during those 40 days, and at the end, he was very hungry. So Luke gives us the fullest picture, being tempted during those 40 days. Then we get he is hungry, and then we get the devil saying to him, if you are the Son of God, tell this stone to become bread. Okay, we kind of read this as it's the devil appears at the end of 40 days. I've kind of wondered, reading it the way that it says here in Luke, that he went there for 40 days and was tempted by the devil. Is the tempted at the end of 40 days, or is he tempted for 40 days? Like, it's a constant. Hey, man, those stones could be bread, man. Yeah, I got some stones over here. You want some bread? Just make them into bread, man. You could do it. Hey, man, I know you're getting hungry. It's been 3 days, man. It's been 7 days. It's been 10 days. You got to be hungry by now. There's still a lot of stones out here can be made into bread, man. Day 12. Hey, dude, you want some bread? I brought some stones for you. Turned them in. Like, I could just see this persistence. It doesn't fully explain it that way, but yeah. I'm watching. I can imagine the Israelite diet had many foods similar to the Mediterranean diet, so the Daniel fast sounds very doable. Yeah, I've done the Daniel fast before, and it is doable. Sunshine, I have been over 40 days, 2 months, basically without food, not by choice at some point. You get used to it, and you don't feel the hunger as bad as I thought I would. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Daniel and his charges. Yeah. But us too. Yeah, he also has all the food being prepared and brought to him, so that wouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, your body gets used to not eating. You could die is what kept coming at me on like day 2 and 3. LOL. Nope. Get from me so early. Well, you know what? Actually, it is going to happen earlier when you get further into the fast. Sometimes it gets easier. Now, I just saw. I haven't some VODs on this. I haven't fully looked into it. The guy was calling it the panda diet. Okay, essentially what it is, it's a fast. I don't know why it's called the panda. Like I said, I didn't look into it much. But his little clip was talking about don't commit to a 7-day fast. Commit to 12 hours. And at the end of 12 hours, renew it for another 12 hours. So every morning when you get up, it's 8 o'clock, you renew your fast for 12 hours. In the evening at 8 p.m., you renew your fast for 12 hours. You just keep committing to 12 more hours. Yeah, the first week or 2 is the worst. So I like that approach of a short commit and then a recommit and a continued recommit. Sunshine, longest I've done is 10 days. And one of the I was trying to go 2 weeks, but I quit because I was concerned of health. I got up on day 10, and by lunchtime I had less than 6 ounces to drink, and I just could not bring myself to drink. I was sitting there trying to force myself to drink something, and I was at home by myself. My wife was gone, and I was concerned that by the end of the day, having had like maybe 12 ounces of water the whole day, that I might go to sleep and be dehydrated and have issues of waking up, and no one would be around to help me if it went bad. So I decided I'm not drinking. I need to eat, and then my body will be in more of a state to consume. So anyway, you ate a lot of veggie chili, fresh fruit, and shredded wheat with alternate milk. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Jesus fast. So one of the reasons why Lent is part of what Lent is commemorating what Jesus did. So Jesus does this to prepare for ministry. We do it to prepare for Easter. We do it as a preparation for Easter. So if we go back in time, Easter would have been the time that new people to the faith would have ended up being baptized. So in this 40-day period, it would have also been a preparation of fasting for them in a preparation for being baptized. Now, in a Lent fast, you do not fast on Sundays. Sundays are a feast day. They are the Lord's Day. So on a traditional 40-day fast through Lent, you don't fast on Sundays. You would still eat on Sundays, because it's a feast day. So I'm not saying that's what you do. I'm just saying on a one level, that's what they would do. So that's why when you count 40 days back from Easter, it's more than 40 days because you don't count Sundays. Why is all this fasting talk making me hungry? Artsy. Yeah. Sunshine, in your defense, you had some stomach issue at the time and ate 2.5. After 2.5 months like that, the hospital fixed me up-ish. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, and there are medical reasons why sometimes you may not eat. Actually, that's a good point that you bring up there. If you are injured, just look at an animal. An injured animal will not eat. Why? Because if they eat, their body has to spend energy to go and digest food. If they do not eat, their body can be spending the energy it has on repairing the injury or fighting the disease. So that's why when you get sick, you often don't have an appetite because your body is fighting something in your body. If you're injured, why sometimes you're not hungry? Because your body is fighting the injury. They're working to heal. So fasting is actually healing. Yeah, I'm the same as an animal then. Well, I'm just saying we may not always see it in people, but we can see it in animals and go, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Yes, and excrete and clean up. Exactly. So one reason to do it is a preparation for something else. Jesus does it in preparation for ministry. So that's why I will often, if something new is starting, I will fast in preparation before the thing starts. I usually will do a 3 to 5 day fast. Those are my normal plans of fasting, is a 3 to 5 day fast. That also ties into the next one, to seek God's wisdom before committing. So Paul and Barnabas to service. So in Acts 14, there is that aspect of it. So let's go look at Acts 14:23. Paul and Barnabas appointed leaders for, appointed elders, for them in each church, and with prayer and fasting committed them to the Lord, in whom they had put their trust. So, when someone new is getting appointed to serve, there is a time of prayer and fasting, of committing that person to the Lord before they start. Now, I wish this was more of a practice that we would do in our churches. Like, here's one of those. So you were asking about earlier, Subdue, of doing it, don't letting other people know. Well, here, clearly, Paul and Barnabas, I think, are doing this as a church. Not only are they doing it alone, I think they are inviting others, including those being appointed as elder, to pray and fast, committing them to the Lord and for the church. So when your church, I'm not saying go tell your pastor to do this, but if there are times when you've elected new elders and deacons or whatever you may have within your church structure, and they're going to be ordained or installed, whatever your practice is, in the office and start serving, a time of prayer and fasting for them as individuals, to commit them to the Lord and to put your trust in the Lord for them to serve, even on the point of, who are we nominating? You could go to prayer and fasting for that. Who are we electing? Prayer and fasting. Now we're appointing them, prayer and fasting. All the way along, those are levels at which what you are doing is you are dedicating it to the Lord, you are seeking the Lord, and you're committing the people to the Lord. I'm watching. During my depression, my appetite was low. It wasn't doing much, so I didn't need the energy. You weren't doing much, so you didn't need the energy food gave me. But you did eat so you could take your meds to coat your stomach. Well, yeah. The Brat diet? I don't know if I know the Brat diet. I'm not a small person, 1 meal a day for a couple of weeks. It ain't going to kill me. Yeah, I think I've seen the longest I know of a person going without food. I'm not saying without drinking, without food, was around 400 days. They were a very, very large individual who stopped eating and fasted, and I believe they were under doctor supervision. Hunger for more of you, Lord, is greater than food. Yes. Yeah. So why do we associate these things? Yeah, I know. And I would never recommend that without doctor supervision. Okay. And regular checking in on you. So we're committing someone to the Lord and to service. So we want to know we're getting it right. So we're committing them to the Lord. That's why we are abstaining from food, and we're going to dependency on God. The whole point of Sabbath is to trust God to provide for our needs, and we don't have to strive for them. The whole point of skipping a meal is to trust God for our daily bread and to say, God is what I need, and I don't need food. My body is going to tell me I do. I can trust in God instead. I can go longer if I do a whole day fast. If I do, I liked how they called it a 25-hour fast, because you've got the getting dark and you want to make sure you're starting your fast properly, and you're waiting until it's fully dark on the next day, so you're doing a 25-hour fast to make sure you've got it covered. Those kinds of things. You accidentally dropped 33 pounds when you didn't eat, felt like a walking corpse. Ooh. Yeah, and you can lose a significant amount in fasting. We'll talk about benefits of fast in a little bit. Right now, just kind of focusing and looking at the spiritual components of fasting. And actually, when I usually teach this, I usually talk about the health components of it first. But I think we're going to flip it today. I like doing the scripture part first. So we've got an ad break coming in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and go over to Nehemiah. We won't get into it. We'll just start there. So to show grief. So this is the whole sackcloth and ashes thing. This is where the Pharisees are trying to pretend that they are doing to draw attention to themselves, and they're not really doing. So Nehemiah mourned, fasted, and prayed when he learned of Jerusalem's vulnerability and disgrace. So we're going to go over to Nehemiah. Bum, 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 bum. Nehemiah. All right, we got ad break coming in. So, why did my Stream Deck just suddenly go blank? That was weird. That's weird. All right, we're going to Fishies. Those who don't know, we go over to Fishies, but you'll have a promo here for Reach Conference. And you can use my code FLATCAP if you'd like $10 off if you're able to attend. And if you're in another country, that might be difficult.
Attention streamers, content creators, gamers, and cosplayers. Last year, ReachConf was an absolute blast. An in-real-life celebration where creators connected, impactful speakers inspired, gaming tourneys, on-stage shenanigans, and fantastic music kept the energy high. It was more than an event. It was a community coming together. Get ready for ReachConf 2025, happening November 6 to 8. All the best parts of gaming and creative culture will be there, live and in person. Last year, we hit capacity, and even with increased numbers this year, tickets are sure to sell fast. Don't miss your chance to be part of the ultimate IRL experience. Grab your tickets now and join the movement.
With his cam he shows it all. Little fish both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow. Hear the music, gentle glow. Flat cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way. Stream it live, come what may.
All right, so it looks like you guys are back. So the upper left there that you can't see really well, that is snow up on Lake Superior, where my mom lives. The upper right, you're seeing part of Waiwas, my albino plecostomus, who's blocking the cam there. The lower left is the guppies that you can't see on cam. Where Waiwas is the aquarium you can see. And then the lower right is in the back of the room. So right here, that's where Waiwas is, right there on the cam. You can't see him here because he's blocking the other cam. There's the other fish tank back here. The guppies are over there. Another fish tank over here with no camera. So anyway, just showing you that real quick. I'm watching you people. Yes, I did find out. I missed it in the part. So Reach Conference is $75. This is the early pricing. It probably will go up. Early bird pricing. You can get $10 off the price with my code FLATCAP. You'll get $10 off general admission. Then there is food and snacks. So meals and snacks will be $50 for the conference. And I believe they've got the menu. When you go like scroll through what is the schedule, I believe they've got the food on the first couple of days figured out. So it's $50 for food to cover you meals and snacks while you're at the conference. And then if you want to do the LAN party and play video games with other people while you're there, it is, I think, another $25 for that. Yes, and it all started with 4 goldfish years ago. Actually, it was 5 goldfish. It was 5 goldfish. But yes, all of those fish started because of 5 goldfish. You're laughing. My wife thinks it's hilarious. She hasn't said this lately because I haven't spent any money on my fish, but I need to. I need to get some new filters and a larger aquarium. And she keeps saying, how much have these fish cost me? How much have those 5 goldfish cost me? Okay. So anyway, also, if you are a streamer content creator, you can join over in the Reach Conference Discord and hang out over there. It is a lot more active over there than my Blessed community. I'm active over there. I'm not the greatest at starting a conversation, okay? So I'm not good in my Discord of starting things. It'd be, I try to respond to what other people are posting and those things. But if you are a content creator, let me just go over here, actually. Let me just show you. Scroll up. Come on. Oh, there it is. I'm not sure if it's here. Okay, yeah. So if you're a content creator, you can apply as a content creator, and then you could get your own code. So for every ticket that's sold using my code, I get $5. So you get $10 off, and I get $5 when you use my code. So please use my code. Use somebody else's code that you know. I'll get $5 for you attending. So that can pay for my ticket. If I sell, I think it's I don't remember, it's 75 or 100. If 100 people go that are connected with me, they're going to give me a free ticket, okay? But otherwise, I get like $5 for those tickets that you buy, and you get 10 off. So it doesn't cost you anything to use my code. But if you're a creator, go apply as well as a creator. Go join the community and do that. And if you just want to volunteer, there's an application for that too. So check that out. There's other ways to go and be part of it. I don't know if there's any benefits to being a volunteer, like if you get a discounted price or those kinds of things, but I bet you might. Hey, Driven by Faith, thank you for the lurk. Appreciate you, friend. I'm also trying to figure out if DC4C, if we can do a meetup at ReachCon, because I know a couple of them are connected with ReachCon, and so we'll see. But anyway, okay, you're actually wondering what kind of volunteer they could use. Well, I know last year, Mama Bricks was a volunteer at ReachCon, and she helped with the registration, with people coming in, and then handing out T-shirts and some other stuff. So they had, and then there's people that will do the snacks and refreshing the snacks. And I know they'll get volunteers as well from the church there will volunteer. They'll be doing the food, a lot of the food stuff. So you're hoping you can go. Yeah, that'd be so awesome, Driven by Faith, if you're able to. And like I was saying, if you are a streamer, go ahead and apply. And even if no one from your community ends up coming, there's some other cool perks that happen from just being there. So anyway, it was a lot of fun last year. Okay, so we're shifting over to showing grief is one of the ways that, or one of the reasons why we fast. So Nehemiah. So if you want to talk about what the Pharisees were doing, I think the Pharisees were mimicking and seeking to mimic what Nehemiah does so that people will praise them. And that's not what they're doing. Okay. The words of Nehemiah, son of Hakaliah, in the month of Kislev in the 20th year, while I was in the citadel of Susa, Hanani, One of my brothers came from Judah and some other men, and I questioned them about the Jewish remnant that had survived the exile and also about Jerusalem. Sorry, I'm just hearing fishes splashing and just going, what are you guys doing? Keep it down. I'm streaming over here. Let me shorten this, actually. I'm noticing that's somehow that got off the screen there. Okay. They said to me, I'm stumbling over my words. Those who survived the exile and are back in the province are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down and its gates have been burned with fire. So the report is bad. When I heard these things, I sat down and I wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the Lord God of heaven. For some days. Okay. Now we're going to hear the prayer, but I'm just going to go for the some days. Okay, we're still at the end of the prayer. Give your servant success today. We got to go to the next one to figure it out. But anyway, if you figure out when this day is here, that he hears about it. So his response to bad news, his response to tragedy in people's lives, his response to disgrace of the temple is mourning. And when he's mourning, he is fasting. And when he is mourning and fasting, he's also praying. So this is a response to grief. This is a response to tragedy. So that's what we have here with Nehemiah. So when tragedies happen, like when 9/11 happened, a natural response would be to mourn and fast and pray to God. When invasion and war happens, like when Russia invaded Ukraine, a natural response would be to mourn and fast and pray. So when like in the last year, there's been hurricanes, there's been flooding, there's been fires. A natural response should be, when you hear news of it, is mourning and fasting and praying. Now, you may not be able to do all of those things. So, anyway, that's what we have here. So that's a natural response to things. Next one. To seek deliverance and protection, Ezra declared a corporate fast and prayed for a safe journey to Jerusalem. Okay. So, again, we were asking about whether or not we can do things as a group of people. Yes, we can. We can pray and fast together. We don't have to. Fasting is not just a solo sport, if you will. Okay. There by the Ahava Canal, I proclaimed a fast so that we might humble ourselves before God. So there's the thing. We are humbling ourselves before God, and then we are asking for a safe journey for us, our children, and our possessions. I was ashamed to ask the king for soldiers and horsemen to protect us from enemies on the road, because we had told the king the gracious hand of our God is on everyone who looks to him, but his great anger is against those who forsake him. So we fasted and petitioned our God about this, and he answered our prayer. So I'd done a little bit of boasting about our greatness of our God, so I couldn't ask the king for protection when I had boasted about the protection of God. So we fasted and petitioned God, and God answered our prayer. So look at how specific it is. For safe journey for us, our children, and all our possessions. You want to talk about, he knew to be specific with God about things. We need not to have, ransom or pay in the toll to get there. We need to get there with everything. So there's Ezra. Okay. Then to repent. After Jonah pronounced judgment against Nineveh, the king ordered the people to fast and pray. Again, we have another corporate prayer. And we didn't get to Jonah 3 yet. We got through Jonah 1, I think. Whoa, that's going to take some time if we're only going one at a time. Pop. Share one thing you're thankful for and one challenge your life. Your wife is an answer to both parts. Pop. Okay. The word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Go to Nineveh. Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now, Nineveh was a great city. It was a 3-day journey to go through it. This is on foot. Jonah began going. Okay, here we go. When Jonah's word warning reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, covered himself in sackcloth, and sat down in dust. So the king, in response to news about the sinfulness and a call to repentance, he covers himself in sackcloth and dust. And by decree, the king and his nobles, so the nobles join him in this, do not let people or animals, herd or flock, taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink. But let people and animals be covered with sackcloth. Animals. This is one of the weirdest ones. Animals too. Let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish. Okay, so this is one of the few places where it says eat and drink. Often it's just not eating, but drinking also can be a part of it. Now, does he mean drinking as in anything but water, or is water included? I don't know which way to go on that when you're pronouncing don't drink. But animals too. Well, animals were clearly drinking water, so don't let them taste anything. Don't let them eat or drink. So if animals aren't drinking and people aren't drinking, this is serious. This is urgent. We are going to, because you know what? We're going to die anyway, so we're going to fast before God. So that's the seriousness, I think, of that. Repentance. And to gain victory. So Judges 20, verse 6, the Israelites called out to God for help. Judges 20:26. Come on, scroll, baby. I'm scrolling here and you're doing nothing. But you, dear friends, build yourselves up in the... okay, I feel like I missed it. Sometimes happens when you go out of context. 2026. I did 2020 or did I do 20? Okay, 2026. Where is my Bible? Oh, it's right there scrolling. That's why I can't find it. Oh, they gave me Jude. That's why. Then all the Israelites, the whole army, went up to Bethel. Bethel is the house of God. And there they sat weeping before the Lord. They fasted that day until evening and presented burnt offerings and fellowship offerings to the Lord. Okay, I need a little more context there. The Israelites drew near to Benjamin the second night. This time the Benjamites came to Gibeah to oppose them. They cut down another 18,000 and all the men in the swords. Okay, so then they're weeping and praying. And the Israelites inquired of the Lord. In those days, the Ark of the Covenant was there with Phinehas, son of Eleazar, and son of Aaron, ministering before it. They asked, shall we go up to fight against the Benjamites, our fellow Israelites, or not? The Lord responded, go, for tomorrow I will be with you and give them into your hands. Okay, so they are praying for victory in the thing that they are seeking to do. So there we have. Those are the different places, the different ways. So we've got to gain victory. We've got to repent. We've got to seek deliverance and protection. We have got to show grief. We have to seek God's wisdom, and we have to prepare for ministry. There might be another aspect in there, but those are the 6 that I have seen and identified as different pieces of what the practice of fasting is for. Now, here's one of the things that you're going to hear different from me than other people. A lot of people say, now that I've told you about what the spiritual components are, go and fast. And I'm going to tell you, no. Practice fasting first to learn how to do it before you add the spiritual components to it. For instance, have you ever gone on a prayer walk? Sure. Maybe. Okay, but you know what it is. It's a given path, and you pray for the things around you. You pray for the people around you. So you'll do this in your city. You'll walk through your neighborhood. You'll walk and you'll pray for your neighbors. Did you first learn to walk, or did you learn how to walk in order to do a prayer walk? Like, you had to learn how to walk before you could do a prayer walk. It just, you know, do you pray while you're driving in the car? Do you pray on your way back and forth? And I know people that do this. Pray as you're driving somewhere. Well, did you learn to drive just so that you could do a prayer drive? No. Did I learn how to ride my bicycle so that I can go and look at creation and be in solitude and silence with God? No. So you need to learn how to fast, I think, before you start putting spiritual components to it. So you need to learn what your body's going to do. How long do I go before I get hungry? When do I get cravings? Because if all I'm thinking about the entire time I'm fasting is, boy, I'm hungry, boy, I'm hungry, boy, when do I eat? When do I eat? When do I eat? You're not getting anything spiritual out of it. So you need to be able to practice fasting as a discipline first, then you can add spiritual things with it. Yes, you're giving up food and you're replacing that time with something spiritual, but you can't just automatically, I think, the first time you fast, just think you're going to be able to do spiritual components along with it. So, yeah, so develop a relationship with God like your earthly parents. God wants to hear from you. He wants to talk to you. Gain an understanding of God and his loving nature. You can feel that love as you speak daily with him through prayer, seeking its guidance in your life and feeling his answers to petition. So yeah, I didn't learn how to talk to God first. I learned how to talk to people first. Then I learned how to do that with God. Let me find, okay, I'm looking, I've got my prayer slides and my fasting slides. I pulled up the one that was both prayer and fasting, so I got to find where. Oh, here we go. Is this going to do it? No. Where do I? Are they before? Oh, there we go. I flip-flopped it. Okay. Now, I have footnotes for all of these, but I do not know if these websites where the footnotes are going to still be there today. So I must not have put them in here. I must have it on a different slideshow. Okay. But anyway, one of the benefits of fasting is weight loss. So we already talked about that of fasting. Research looked at the data from 13 studies, found that the average weight loss ranged from 1.3% for a 2-week trial to 8% for an 8-week trial. So just think about how much you weigh, and then what would 1% of that weight be? So in 2 weeks, you might lose more than 1% of your weight. Just to do some simple math, if you were at 100 pounds, you would lose 1 pound in 2 weeks. If you did an 8-week fast, you would lose 8 pounds, potentially. This is potential. There's no guarantees. Some of you might lose more, like if you weigh more. Some might lose less. But though at 13 studies, that's the average from that. And then you can also reduce blood pressure. You can also reduce blood pressure from fasting. So doing a 16-8 diet. So if you do not know what a 16-8 fast is, it means you have 16 hours you do not eat, and then 8 hours you eat. So if we just think about you're going to eat lunch, you would eat at noon. That would mean you could eat all the way up until you ate dinner, maybe 6 o'clock at night, and then have a dessert afterwards. So you would eat between noon and 8 o'clock. That's called a 16-8 fast. So you are fasting for 16 hours. So essentially, you're giving up breakfast. There are other people that don't like to give up breakfast. I'm of the opinion of when I get up in the morning, I'm not hungry. I'm going to keep going until I'm hungry before I choose to eat. So that's how I would do it, and that's for myself how I began with fasting. I never was hungry in the morning, but I ate because you're supposed to. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so you better eat it. Lucis, a thought hit me. If we were to consider fasting as a form of not having something, then do you think flat caps would fast from wearing flat caps? I'm just kidding. I do give up flat caps when I am in the sanctuary. If it is Sunday morning and I'm not wearing a flat cap. I'm not preaching with a flat cap on. What was fun, the couple of times I've done VR ministry, I've preached with a flat cap on because my avatar has a flat cap. So that's been kind of funny. But yes, you are right. I could abstain from it for a person. I wake up hungry. Well, I never have, Mel. So that might be a difference. So for you, if you wake up hungry, then eating in the there's other people that since when you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar may spike naturally. That may be why you are hungry. And so for some people, they start with breakfast and then they will go 8 hours and not eat afterwards. I have more difficulty not eating in the evening. But that's the idea there of a 16-8. So as I was saying, I get up in the morning. I'm not hungry. So there are some people who are very strict on what you can drink when you are fasting. You fasted from playing mobile games. What you can drink. So I drink tea. Why do I think tea doesn't break a fast? Because biologically, it does not. There is no sweetener. There is no nutritional value. The same with black coffee. Black coffee, black tea, green tea, water with a little bit of lemon or cucumber or something like that you're just a hint to flavor the water, are also not going to break a fast. So I go from the biological standpoint, will it break my fast or not? If it will not break my fast, then I don't think that I've consumed something that breaks a fast. Other people you may hear of a juice fast. I do not recommend a juice fast to anybody. You are not going to get any of the health benefits with the juice fast because what you're doing with a juice fast is drinking juice. You're drinking sugar. You're going to spike your blood sugar. You're not going to get the health benefits of it. I would rather you only give up one meal than to go all day long drinking juice. That's very bad for your health. Yes, drinking dirty water. So that's my caveat. Other people will argue with me that it has to be water only if you are drinking. I'm fine with it as long as it does not break your fast. So if it is a beverage like tea, like coffee, black or green tea, that doesn't break a fast, it's okay. Now, my blueberry tea, I think it's got sugars in there because it's got dried blueberries in it. So that one would not count. I can't drink that one in the morning if I'm fasting. If I go do a fast, I'm going to have to abstain from that one because it would break my fast. Okay. So 16-8. So I started with 16-8, and one of the ways it's easy to start with 16-8 is if you sleep for 8 hours, you're halfway through your fast. Then you just you could add 4 hours at the end of your day, 4 hours at the beginning of your day. So if you got up at 6 a.m., you could wait till 10 a.m. to eat breakfast and then go 8 hours from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that's when you conclude your meal, not when you start your meal. So your eating, consuming happens in the 8 hours. So that's how I started. And then it was easy to skip breakfast for me. And then it became I got to lunchtime and I wasn't hungry. So then I started to push it into a 6-hour eating window and then a 4-hour eating window. And then, so that'd be like eating at 2 p.m. and eating it to 6 p.m. And then realizing the only reason I'm eating is because I feel that I should. I'm not hungry. So I do what's called OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. I'm not saying you have to do that. I really enjoy eating 1 meal a day. So for me, I don't consider that fasting from a spiritual standpoint. From a biological standpoint, I'm fasting right now because I will not eat until 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. So I will be fasting. I also do snacks on my 1 meal a day after I eat. So my eating window might be 3 or 4 hours. So I'm usually doing a 20-hour fast a day. So that's how you start. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. If you have health concerns that you can't, it's okay. I'm just telling you what are some of the health benefits if you choose to do this. It's also shown to lower cholesterol. A study published in Obesity, fasting may help lower total cholesterol as well as your LDL. It also boosts brain function, improve mental acuity and concentration. I know some of these studies are older. I haven't updated my data in the last 3 years. I probably could find newer info. In experimental biology and medicine found it may help against the decline of memory that comes with age. So that's a fantastic thing. Increase cell turnover. This is one of the exciting things, no matter where you are at, which is when I was talking about when you are sick or you are injured and you do not want to eat. Cell turnover. So I want to say I think it's 85 days it takes for your body to reproduce and replace every cell in your body. So essentially, you are not the same you from 4 months ago. You are not the same you from 4 months ago or 3 months ago. So in a study published in Autophagy, which is also what that process is called, found restriction is a well-recognized way to increase autophagy. So food restriction. So they found out that if you want autophagy, which is your cells replacing other cells, taking the broken pieces of a cell, taking out good components they can reuse, scrapping the waste, and building a new cell. If you want your body to do that, your body needs to be in a fasted state to do it effectively, or it benefits from being in a fasted state, depending on how you want to look at it. It reduces insulin resistance. So, a study in Nutrients encouraged insulin levels to fall, which may play in the role of reducing diabetic risk. So if you are a person that is pre-diabetic, fasting has been proven to be effective for some people in never ending up being diabetic and, in fact, reversing the pre-diabetic stage that you are in. It lowers the risk of cardiovascular issues. So in the same nutrient study, when insulin levels fall, so does the risk of dangerous cardiovascular events. Intermittent fasting works really well for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what the 16-8 is called, is intermittent fasting. It's just intentionally setting aside a time that is an eating window and a time that is a fasting window. And that can be a daily practice. So that's not a spiritual practice. It's a daily practice. Better night's sleep. In 2018, in Nature and Science of Sleeping, regulated circadian rhythm means you'll fall asleep easily and wake up feeling refreshed. So when you are fasting, it increases your ability to sleep. I find that fascinating. And then reduced inflammation in a study in nutrition research showed that during a fasting period, pro-inflammatory markers were lower than usual, as was blood pressure, body weight, and body fat. So this has all kinds of things, but inflammation. So if you have swelling around injury, you just have swelling. Yeah, so I thought I had the other ones listed in the possible, or the links to them. There I do. So if you wanted these, I've got the links to them. Why that one's not showing up, I'm not sure. Oh, I have it at the bottom. Oh, no, that's just the one from the bottom. Okay, I know what that is. Okay. So apparently the blue ones links aren't working. Oh, well. So those are the health benefits. Lots of health benefits from it. So I recommend to people to learn how to fast first. So for me, it seems easiest to not eat the first meal of the day. That might be different for you. What you might need to do is eat the first meal of the day and then give up lunch. This does, and if you just want to learn it from a biological standpoint, it can mean I do a lot of things. I get really busy so that my mind is not thinking about food. When I'm not thinking about food, well then, hey, I'm okay. This isn't as good as intermittent fasting, but there are some health benefits if you do a 12-12. So you only eat on the 12 hours. So if you eat at 7 a.m., you eat at 7 p.m., and you give your body as long of a gap in between as you can. So people who have health reasons why they cannot do a full fast, they can still get some benefits from trying to do a 12-12. So eating at a set time in the morning, eating at that same time in the evening. So maybe for you, giving up lunch meal is going to be an easier way to do that. Subdue, working out, walking and moving in always helps you. Yeah. I found when I worked long hours, like, an 8-hour day, like I could have kept working. I didn't need the breaks that would come in a day. So my kids, I should say my daughter and her husband, my son-in-law, had to get on my case about this since I normally fast all day long. And I'm used to, I'm slowing down. I can't pull this anymore. I used to, just like I can pull a 16-hour day. Your sun is up, I'm working. Sun is down, it's finally time to stop. Wait, I'm almost finished. Give me another hour, turn the lights on, let me finish a project kind of thing. So I'd be at my daughter and son-in-law's house working on a project. Noon comes. I don't need to stop. Suddenly, it's the middle of the afternoon, and they're crashing, and they're hungry, and they're like, you could have said something. I could have stopped. I just don't think about it, and I just keep working. But they needed to stop and eat, and so they didn't feel like asking me to stop, so I had to. So they, at one point, my daughter's counselor, I guess she was probably complaining about me to her counselor, which I'm sure she does, no big deal. But her counselor said, did you ever ask to stop work? You need to speak up for yourself and stop working and go do what you need to eat. So it was like, she told me that. I'm like, oh, okay. All you do is say something. I just don't think about stopping to eat. If I need a drink, I do it. If I'm hungry, I do it. If not, if you need to, I expect you to do it. I'm not a boss driving here. I'm just the next thing. I'm just a move. I'm just going to get the task done. We're just going to keep working. So I had to start doing that. And then also there was the complaint of, there needs to be a time we're stopping for today. Okay. We'll set a time, or we'll set, this is the thing that we need to get done today, and we will stop when it's done so that we get to evening meal. So I had to set boundaries around that for the extra work that I was doing because they needed that. So in the same way, we do that with our food. Now, I don't know what your relationship with food is. One of the reasons why I really like one meal a day is because otherwise I constantly, all the time, was consumed with thinking about food. So when I went to go and do a spiritual fast, all I ever did was think about the next meal. All I ever did was go, oh, I can't wait to eat. Like, well, for instance, today, I'm going to a luncheon today. I will eat lunch today. Not a big deal. It will just be a different rhythm. My body will go, hey, there's food. And I go, yeah. And then sometimes I get to dinner and I'll just pick at it like a bird because I'm not hungry. But growing up, you get up in the morning and you eat breakfast. 2 hours later, 3 hours later, I am hungry. Well, I wasn't hungry before breakfast, but now that my body has moved all of the food through my system, out of my stomach is going, we need more. We need more. So I would be hungry. And I'd ask my mom for something to eat. And my mom said, I make 3 meals a day. If you want to eat more than that, you'll have to make your own meals. I said, great. What can I make? So she bought me a cookbook. So I started making meals in between meals. So all I would think about while I was eating breakfast is, what am I going to make for my after breakfast meal, my second breakfast? Yeah, you think hobbits are the only one second breakfast? I was doing second breakfast long ago. I mean, the hobbits were written before that but I didn't know that. But I was having second breakfast. So tea and second tea. Yes, tea, and I'm almost ready for second tea. So that's what I was doing. And, I'm just going to go this. I'll just go big because I'm not looking at the slides anymore. There's not. So that's what I would do. I would make that. Then we'd eat lunch. And then you'd have afternoon snack. It might not be as big as my second breakfast. It probably wasn't, because I would get ready for dinner, and then I would eat dinner. And then I developed that pattern and habit. And my metabolism was high, and I was active. And so it was not, I was still pretty skinny. Got into high school, still doing that kind of thing. And then when I got into college, I had a deviated septum, so that is, broken nose. Had to have surgery on it. I developed a sports-induced asthma, and for about 2 years, I couldn't exercise, couldn't do anything. Well, you suddenly slow down my metabolism, and you slow down my activity, and I didn't slow down my eating, and I developed probably worse eating habits, eating worse food, and boy, I put on a few pounds. And then I, get married, and we go out to eat. Well, she didn't clean her plate. Well, let me eat that for you. I'll just, don't want to waste it. I don't know why I didn't think about it. At that time, very few people would take a doggy bag, and usually it was literally a bag. So, unless you were taking bones home to your dog, they didn't really have the to-go boxes. So you'd eat it because you didn't want to throw it out, because I paid for that. And then you have the same things. Now all of a sudden it's my wife and my kids who don't clean their plate, so I clean their plate for them. Suddenly you're eating way more than you need to. And then when you're hungry, you're thinking about what you're going to eat next. So for me, there was a whole level of what OMAD does for me is stop me from thinking about food all day long. That's what OMAD does for me. It stops me from thinking about food all day long. What is my next meal going to be? What am I going to consume? I do tend to gain weight when I go on vacation, because I will eat 2 meals a day most of the time while on vacation, and sometimes 3. So my body's getting a lot more. Now I've started going, order the smallest thing on the menu. Don't order a full, order the small portion sizes of things that you can. Like sometimes you go out to eat, and whatever it is, they'll have an appetizer size and they will have a main course size. So I'll order the appetizer sizes of a lot of things. But last year, and those who have seen my social media, I haven't done any lately. I've not been into posting shorts and reels like I was for, I don't know, about 6-8 months last year. I was just blowing them up, maybe 9 months, and then I needed a break, and it's been hard to get back into posting those. But I did a bunch of skillet meals, so I started taking the time back of making a meal. So, I make a skillet meal. I take an hour to make the meal. I'm in no hurry. I boil my beans, and I slice up my veggies that are going in there, and I saute it, and I take the time. I'm not in a rush. And so I started that last year, and I've really enjoyed it. So taking an hour to make a meal, putting the time into enjoying the process instead of let's microwave and consume. So, Mel, I split a beer with your hubby last night. Yeah, my wife and I may try to do that at times, but it rarely turns out to work because I like peppers and onions and spicy food, sour cream, guacamole. She's not going to want to touch any of that. So we can split a pizza. That we can split. But most things my wife and I can't split. Okay, so I know we've got a few people who have practiced fasting here in the chat. Post in the chat what is the longest fast that you have done. Yes, you're speaking your love language there with the food lineup. I know. That, yeah. And, well, that's another thing I didn't talk about. My mom's love language is really making meals for you, making meals, providing for you food. So, yeah, food was never like, I know people that seriously grow up with food insecurity. I never have had food insecurity. Yeah, your hubby likes spicy and you don't? Yeah. Yep. So that makes it where one of us doesn't fully get what we want, you know. The longest you have done was last year leading up to Easter, 9 days. Awesome, man. Awesome. Like I said, I feel like the sweet spot for me is a 3 to 5 day. I don't have it in here, but I want to do some more research. As I was looking at it previously, what I was seeing in some of the literature was after 3 days or 5 days, depending on stuff it was looking at, there's no significant health benefits added. There can still be spiritual ongoing benefits. Artsy, from sunrise to sunset in the summer. So I guessing 16 hours. Okay. So that's cool, man. That's cool. One of the things that I was mentioning earlier that I liked about, and I've not looked into the fullness of what a panda diet is, but it was advertised and the guy was talking about panda diet, but he was talking about fasting. So don't go setting out to do a 10-day fast and committing up front to the 10-day fast because you might fail in the 10-day fast. It's commit to fasting for 12 hours. Then at the end of 12 hours, commit to another 12 hours. And just keep recommitting to 12 more hours of fasting. I kind of like that idea, which is kind of what I've done on some levels of when I set out to do a 3-day fast. I will know I'm planning on doing a 3-day fast. I'm committed to 3 days, and then I'll decide if I want to go longer or not. So, Mel, you got mixed messages growing up, like your grandma was a food pusher, but then would fat shame, and you... I wasn't a fat kid. Yeah, I think that's one of the problems of the... Well, I also got the message of clean your plate of there are starving kids in wherever, China, you know, name the place. There are starving kids there, which never makes logical sense that, oh, well, then why don't we send them this food would be the logical thing to do. I know that's not logical. So that's where it's like, you should appreciate what you have and finish what you have. Other kids don't have what you have. I know that, but that's not what it sounds like. She was also very legalistic about eating healthy food. Yep. Sunshine, welcome in, friend. Good to have you here. Anyone have questions about fasting? Anyone have struggles with fasting? So you will have hunger. There are several other things I didn't talk about. I don't have them in my slideshow here that are also benefits around fasting. Like how to break a fast. The best way to break a fast is to have fats. Fats are the best way to break a fast. So if you're in the fasting realm for health benefits, you'll hear people talking about taking MCT oil. It's medium chain triglycerides. I happen to do that. You don't need to do that. But it is a clear oil, almost flavorless, basically made from coconut oil. And it's beneficial, but it's also a fat, so it will help you break a fast. What you don't want to do is break a fast with carbs. You don't want to eat carbs first. It's one of the reasons, actually, a salad isn't a bad way to break a fast. You know, the way that you would traditionally serve meals, where you would have a salad first as part of what you would do, and then later you would have your pasta and things going on. MCT and coffee is the way to go. You put MCT in your coffee, I just drink it straight. Because I found it floated on the top, and I just didn't like that. But avocados are a good source of fat for breaking a fast. Anchovies are a good fat, a good way of breaking a fast. Olives. Olives are a good way to break a fast. I have olives in the house. I usually break my fast daily with eating olives. Now, I will eat my olives while I'm prepping the meal. So I eat 2-3 olives while I'm making my meal. My fast has been broken. I don't immediately eat, and then I cook my meal and then eat. So I break it with fats. That is a good way. So you don't spike your blood sugar. Another thing that can help you not spike your blood sugar, not totally fasting, but just in that realm of getting more health benefits from it, is using apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar before you eat will help that blood sugar spike that you get to not be as high. So apple cider vinegar is a good thing to do. You can put in it because it's not the sweetest of drinks. You don't take it straight. You dilute it in water, put a little lemon juice, a little lime juice. You can put some spices in there if you want to, like turmeric and cinnamon, which are also beneficial. And you can just make a little drink out of it. I usually find that putting the powders in makes it really hard for them to be saturated in, and they float on top. And I just don't like drinking a lot of things with floaties on top. So, what was the other? Oh, I am learning and still keep learning more on health stuff and things related to or not related to fasting. But I do like thinking about it. Like, your issue with fasting is reflux. You would think vinegar would make that worse. Actually, I've heard that it does reduce the acid reflux. Let me go see if I can find anything on that. Oh, come on. Apple cider, vinegar, and reflux. There we go. Medical news today. We'll look at that one. Apple cider vinegar is a popular natural remedy for acid reflux and heartburn. However, research has not confirmed that is safe or effective for acid reflux. Okay. So this was saying it didn't show it, or there's not medical research that shows it. I'm going to put study in here. Harvard Health. There we go. I always thought it sounded counterintuitive, but the number of times you've heard people say it is too large to count. So you decided to look into whether this strategy works, and then does some investigation behind it. To my surprise, there was no research published in medical journals to address the raw apple cider vinegar to treat heartburn, despite widespread use and recommendation on blogs. Okay. So apparently, this is saying that there is no one who has studied it yet. So there's no research that says it does. Okay. Hey, welcome in, Alice. We're talking about fasting and health here. We're looking at spiritual disciplines, and we were talking about fasting and going through all of that. Okay. That's a good question, Mel. On reflux. Fancy bringing some sunshine to the UK? It is raining so much. Well, I am getting snow so much is what I'm getting here. I'm getting tons and tons of snow. So, yeah, I have heard that. So it must be mostly anecdotal that it is that way. And Well, there haven't been any clinical studies to show it's working. So this is February of last year. Still no studies on apple cider vinegar. Well, somebody needs to go do one. So it's coming more from health and dietitians that are talking about it. But not health. Well, we're talking about spiritual discipline. So one of the reasons we were talking about fasting, let me go back over to here. We're talking, because I am the picture of health. Who's going to fund a study? Well, the apple cider vinegar people might fund it to prove that it does do that. But from the standpoint of, would the pharmaceuticals company? No, the pharmaceutical companies want you to buy the drugs. So, yeah. But there are a lot of studies out there on fasting, which would be interesting. Why would fasting have so many studies that are coming out all the time studying fasting and then not want to do apple cider vinegar? I don't know. I'm trying to think if there are any studies that I know of with MCT oil. I think there were when I remembered it, but I didn't keep track of those. So one of the things still I think is, if I don't know what my body does, if I don't know how to make it through a day when I feel hungry, if I don't know how to go, oh, you know what I need to do? I need to make sure I have something to drink at my side all the time so that when I'm hungry, I just fill my belly up with something to drink, and then I'm not hungry. The other thing I can start to do with fasting is, like I said, intentionally learn to break a fast. So, like for breakfast, don't eat carbs for breakfast. It's not a great way to break your fast. You have fasted from the last time you ate yesterday. Don't break your fast with carbs. So don't do cereals. Don't do toast. Give the snow to Lucis. we're waving their hand, ready for a snowball. Oh, it's Sunshine, you have a snow day too? Yeah. Anyway, what I was, talking about, like growing up in the church, our church didn't practice fasting. The only thing that I ever really heard about fasting was when you would run across Catholics who were giving up something for Lent. And as I was talking about earlier, one of the other disciplines that we are looking at is called denial. So denial is intentionally denying yourself some legitimate pleasure to find your sufficiency in God or higher fulfillment or in God. So most Catholics are really practicing denial when they are doing something for Lent, like they're giving up chocolate for Lent. They are denying themselves a pleasure. Okay? So fasting is abstaining from food, denying themselves a specific pleasure. Some Catholics will give up meat. They won't give up food, but they'll give up meat. So break your fast with a full English breakfast. Nice. You got about 6 inches of snow driven. Wow. Yeah, that's more than me. Actually, I'm in Michigan, and it was as warm as it was in Dallas yesterday. We were as warm as Dallas was yesterday. So, you'll be having snow arrive this afternoon. Ooh. I had some super flaky, like, I don't know, like the native people who lived in Michigan, I want to say had 12 different words for snow because you had to describe what kind of snow it was. Okay? Is it the wet, heavy snow? Is it the dry, wind-blown snow? Is it the super giant flakes that just look like manna falling from heaven? Like they had, I want to say, 12 different words for snow. We use a whole bunch as well. We've got sleet. We've got grapple. I can't even think of what some of the other ones are because you just say snow most of the time. For me, it snowed most yesterday and last night. Okay, Alice. At least you are not in Detroit where you got flooded and then I know. Oh, Grapple? You don't know Grapple? So Grapple is similar to hail. I don't know how to describe it. My son could. But Grapple is similar to hail, except it's snow. It's not rain. So, yeah, we get Grapple. Snow is snow. Sleet is sleet. And that's it. Maybe. Mel, you know Grapple? Yeah. Anyway, I need to go blow snow today before I head out and go to my nerd luncheon today. So I have a friend from Nerd Chapel who is putting on a luncheon at my other friend's church, who they do board game night. And so I'm going to go hang out with them for lunch today. So I think that's fun. You know what I'm just thinking here? We could probably just do a little time of denial as well. So we got an ad break coming in 30, but I don't know on denial. It's pretty close to fasting, so we could just touch on that. Rain is what you have 50 words for. Ah, that makes sense. You've got drizzle, and you've got mist. You got cats and dogs and buckets, and I don't know what else your words are. But, okay. All right, so we got ad coming in. I'm going to do we'll go over to Fish, and you'll get the ad for ReachCon as we go over there as well.
Streamers, content creators, gamers, and cosplayers. Last year, ReachConf was an absolute blast. An in-real-life celebration where creators connected, impactful speakers inspired, gaming tourneys, on-stage shenanigans, and fantastic music kept the energy high. It was more than an event.
The ad came in
it
right
was a
in the middle of
community
my
coming
ad.
together. Get ready for ReachConf 2025, happening November 6 to 8. All the best parts of gaming and creative culture will be there, live and in person. Last year, we hit capacity, and even with increased numbers this year, tickets are sure to sell fast. Don't miss your chance to be part of the ultimate IRL experience. Grab your tickets now and join the movement.
With his cam he shows it all. Little fish both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen.
All right, says you are all back. Okay. So looking at our list, not on our list, here's our list. So we did fasting. And then there is, did I not put denial on the list? How did I miss that? Okay. I'll just put denial here. Denial. And it's not just a river in Egypt. Ha, ha, ha. But you have champagne powder snow. Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, Soul Weaver. Soul Wave. Welcome in. Good to see you, friend. How are you doing? Okay. So we do have one passage that it talks about denying oneself. So Matthew, we'll go look at that. I don't know that we need to take a lot of time because I think a lot of what people talk about with denial is very similar to fasting. It's just other things. So we'll use the term social media fast. Like, I'm going to deny myself social media. So we're really applying fasting to other things instead of using the word denying or denial. Good. Long time no see. It has been a while. Yeah. Glad to see you, though. Okay. So let's see what we got. Bum. Then Jesus said to his disciple, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. Whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can someone give in exchange for their soul? Okay, so one of the pieces about denial, and I'm going to go ahead and leave fasting up there because it's similar, is I choose not to have or do something that I could. So, social media, it's right here. I can deny myself that. Now, I might, just like fasting, choose to have rules around how much time I spend on this. So I might have rules, which I do, of not at the dinner table. The phone may be there, but it's turned upside down and you don't look at the screen. Mobile games, yes, you can deny yourself mobile games. I'm going to set a period of time of which I won't do it. When I go on vacation now, I abstain from everything on my phone. I don't answer emails. I do not look at Discord. I do not watch Twitch. I go and I fully withdraw completely for whatever that vacation is going to be. On the other hand, when I go to conferences, I fully engage in all of those things because it's refreshing in a different way. When I go on vacation, I am trying to practice other things of denial along with solitude and silence, which I can't remember. Did we talk about solitude and silence? Let me look. Yeah, we talked about solitude and silence already. So, along with having times of solitude is also denying things. Of having silence is denying things. Pretty hard to go, scroll through TikTok and have silence. I mean, I guess you could put the volume off, but, what's the point? So, denying yourself, taking up your cross and following. So, for some people who end up going overseas as missionaries, what they are denying themselves of is the luxury that I have. Setting phone focus mode. Oh, yeah. Look at all, not a lot of missionaries are going to have, that many flat caps. Not that I've invested a lot of money. Flat caps are not a lot of investment. By the way, a friend of mine posted a picture. I wish I would have seen this. I would have immediately told them to buy it for me, and I'll reimburse you. It was a flat cap that had koi embroidery on the cap. Oh, my goodness. So beautiful. So I believe they saw that while they were at Disney somewhere. So when I go to ReachCon, I need to find out where that was and go get that hat. Or maybe I need to find out where it is and order it. Because it's yes. So it was a koi. So if you've ever seen Japanese style kois, it was just the koi was embroidered on the top of the hat. So let me see if I can find it in a minute. I can show you. Maybe. I might have to scroll back a ways. If I'm in the right, that's all. Also too is which channel was it in that it was shared? Because they didn't share it with me directly. They shared it with the whole community. Come on. There it is. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Sorry, I'm trying to open in browser. I don't see it opening in a browser. I'll forward it to my Discord. Yeah. So it's forwarded. Can I now open in browser? Why will it not open in browser? Okay. Anyway, let me grab... Okay. There we go. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that an awesome hat? I mean, that embroidered on a flat cap is amazing. Amazing. Shalomi, my homie. Welcome in, Altus. Novice Maxis. Hey, got more questions? Absolutely. Isn't that a super cool hat? Hey, Johnny, welcome in. So, yes, he said it was $50, and he said, so I love you, man, but I didn't pick it up for you. And I'm thinking, dude, I'd have paid you back for that. So that is now on my list. Now, if they have it in a different color than the red, like if they had yellow or purple, I doubt they'll have purple. Or if it went in the orange, more of the natural colors. But anyway, it's awesome. It's awesome. You've been lurking and taking care of your Beagle puppy. Oh, you have the link to that. The actual hat? Cool. You've got an Asian trip planned. You'll keep an eye out. You think it's the same one? Oh, Alice. Woo! Share that with me. Oh, man. It's definitely on the list for this year. It's on the list for this year. I may have to wait. I may not run out immediately and do that. I usually try not to. Okay? There's the part of denial. I deny myself often I should go get it. I don't rush. I don't need more hats, okay? So you just Googled it? Oh, okay. I don't know. Koi flat cap. Is that what you Googled? You can put the link in the chat too. Now let's try. Will it switch now? Why is it not working to do that? That's funny. Weird. It will not connect to my other one. Where did you put it? Did you put it in? Oh, there it is. I see it, Alice. You sent it there. Come on. Ooh, it looks very similar. Looks very similar. It looks like it's got a few more things on it. That's very cool. Let me see if it'll let me go there now. Why is it not? The source will not let me pick the browser suddenly. Weird. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't letting me pick it there. So there's the one Alice sent me. It looks a little bit different. Looks a little bit different. Anyway, I didn't know such a thing existed. It's very close to the same fish. It looks like it has some extra things added to it as well. There's also maybe crafter streamer on Twitch who can embroidery. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that was cool. That was a cool little adventure there. Look at the embroidery there. If we zoom in. So, very close to the same, not exactly the same. Oh, wrong one. I'll post it here so you can see them side by side in the Discord. Yeah, it is very, very close to the same fish. So the fish is pretty close to the same. It's just what's surrounding the fish is different. Okay. Anyway, I think that's super, super cool. So if I want to deny myself, this would be one of those things to deny myself. Deny myself more flat caps. I don't need them, but, I like them. So that's part of denying, is something that you would like, and instead you don't, and instead you do something else. Okay, it is 10:02. Let me see what your last comment is. If you haven't been here, 10:02. I need to get a command for that. It says Sakura prints on the side can change from one cap to another. So I guess no two are exactly the same. Ooh, so that would be like my other one back here that is made of the recycled hat. No two are the same. So anyway, so the Church Digital. I'm going to be streaming over there soon, working on figuring out schedule. So anyway, the Church Digital, we are a digital missionary sending agency. So if you are at all feel like that's what you are, but you're like, yeah, I don't know. We have a course that you can go check out. I'll be leading that. I'll get some dates on that coming up, but we're here to talk about and help you become a digital missionary. Maybe you already see yourself as that. Maybe you don't know if that's you. Maybe you just want to explore that. It doesn't mean you're a streamer. You could still be a digital missionary and be an amazing mod or someone in the community. We've got that. But also we started because we've been seeing people over the last 3 years who are feeling a call to digital ministry. We know the harvest is plentiful in digital ministry. If you look at the number of gamers that are out there and the number of digital missionaries out there, there aren't enough to reach everybody. So we're praying at 10:02, which is Luke 10:2, pray for workers for the harvest. So at 10:02, my alarm goes off. If I'm online, I'm going to explain that, and then we'll pray. So I hope you'll all join me in praying for the harvest. And if you have other prayer concerns, we can do that too. God, we are in agreement with Jesus, who told us to pray for the workers for the harvest. He told us the work is plentiful, the harvest is plentiful, and the workers are few. So pray to the Lord of the harvest. So God, we are praying to you to send out more workers into the harvest. God, we need more. We can't do it alone. If it is up to me, it will never happen. I can't reach everybody, but I can reach someone who can reach someone who can reach someone else. So God, I'm praying for everyone who is here in the chat, if they are a digital missionary, to be able to be that in someone's life. If they're just building disciples, if they're just speaking life into someone, wherever they are watering, wherever they're planting, wherever they're having gospel conversations, God, I just pray over them that you'll strengthen them, you'll encourage them, you'll give them endurance, that you'll give them friends on mission to come alongside of them. And I pray for all those who are just starting the next round of going through the course of equipping digital missionaries, that you open their minds and hearts and prepare them, and that you help us refine the training, that we can adapt it, we can contextualize it, we can do it more effectively to expand, to multiply, to equip, empower, and send people out. So God, we're praying for all of that. We're praying for everyone in the chat. We're praying for blessing upon blessing for them today and all they do. God, we thank you for all the blessings we already have. So God, we praise you and thank you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. All right, so I am wearing my TCD shirt today, which is the cross back here that you can see that's like digitized, which is all fun. So anyway, if you're not sure, you just want to hang around the community, you can go over to the Church Digital and you can come over and join the Discord over there. And the info for the class, I gave you that. I didn't give you the Discord link. I think it gets confusing. You have a whole bunch of Discord commands. The same as I gave you Reach Conference. I didn't give you the Discord for ReachCon. If you get connected, they have links on their websites to the Discord. And if not, let me know. I will absolutely invite you. If you are in my friend list, a bunch of you I already invited over there to the Church Digital. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. I didn't intentionally leave anybody out. So, all right. I think that's going to do it for today because I got to go blow snow, and then I got to head to the luncheon. Any thoughts on denial or on fasting before we go? Any questions that people have? We had some good questions earlier about doing it to let people see. Can you do it corporately? All those kinds of things, which were really good conversation. Yeah, I want to be an amazing mod. I was just asking Ninja about that. Driven by Faith. Awesome. You know what? We need amazing mods. I know there's been several people that have talked about doing mod training. And my thought is you don't have to mod for a Christian stream to be a disciple or to be a missionary mod. So intentionally being a Christian doesn't mean that you go against the streamer who isn't a Christian's wishes of sharing your faith, okay? You follow the guidelines. You do all of those things, but you are salt and light in the space, regardless of if there is no salt and light in that space. So, yeah. I know Love Thy Nerd has talked about doing that. I don't know if they've actually gotten anything together. You can mod train. Awesome. Awesome. Altus, the one thing you can share about denial is DePharaoh was considered Leviathan, the head of the seven-headed sea, with later became a seven-headed sea serpent. I didn't remember the seven-headed sea part, but that's interesting. That's interesting. Altus, hey, any insights on fasting that you have? We were talking about that earlier, and I went to a site that was talking about, I think, 6 corporate days of fasting, of 2 that were 25-hour fasts, and then 4 that were 16-hour fast. You have a lot of fasting days. So it was talking about a day of fasting for Esther, Yom Kippur. I'm trying to remember the others off the top of my head. Total fast and partial fast. Oh, what's the partial fast? What's the difference there? Passing out the cookies now that we're talking about fasting, everybody. Get your cookies, get your fruit, pass them around. You take one down, you pass it around. 99 cookies on the wall. 99 cookies and fruit on the wall. 99 cookies and fruit. I don't know, that works. That works. Neither fast allows anything in your mouth. No food, no water, nothing. Okay. I did not know that fasting was automatically no water. I do not generally do no water when I fast. However, the total fast also forbid showering, physical touch, and doing anything that brings joy. Yeah, that totally makes sense. The partial fast allow those things. Okay. So it's not just about the length of time. Yeah. Hey, Sunshine, have you just thinking about doing modding? There's the technical side of how to do a mod. There are the activities of being a mod, and I think then there is the attitude of being. Are there other things, Sunshine, that you would think about? Yeah, water seems challenging. Yeah. No water is a recipe for illness. It can be. Yes. So no washing, no touching anyone or anything, no intimacy or even holding hands. Yep. More stringent usually does about 26 to 27 hours of no food, water. Yeah, what I was looking at was talking about 25 hours so that you are making sure that you are doing it before the day starts and after the day, so that if you get the 25 in there, you've made sure you've done the full day and you didn't just cut it at 24 hours. There's a Catholics men's group that take cold showers. Oh, that's a different reason. Yeah, 25 is the minimum. Yeah. Oh, during their fast, they take cold showers. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense, Sunshine. To me, fasting is so you can deny the flesh and can humble yourself before God. Yeah, that's absolutely one of the aspects of it. Cold shower is what we do every Sabbath, LOL. We can't use electricity or heat water. Love the streamer and the chat. Empathy matters. Oh, absolutely, Sunshine. Mel, I skip breakfast and drink water on vacation and pass out midday. Well, and some of it, too, is your body needs to know you're going to be okay and you need to practice it. And then if you have health reasons, then, yeah, maybe that is what's going on and you can't do that. Can you go on an IV drip on a fast? Well, if I look at one of the things that talks about if you make a vow and then you end up breaking the vow, you need to start over again. So I would say if you end up on an IV drip for a fast, yeah, I would say you need to start over from that. But I wouldn't say I'm going to complete the fast. If my health needed the IV drip, I would go on the IV drip. You have low blood pressure, so if you get dehydrated, you'll pass out. That makes sense. Oh, I think she was just thinking saline solution as far as that. Fasting is to afflict the soul. So it strips the soul of reliance of any physical connection and pleasure. And here is where it gets interesting. You aren't allowed to eat on Yom Kippur, but you aren't allowed to fast on Sabbath. However, Yom Kippur is called Sabbath of Sabbaths. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're not, well, that's, yeah, saline. That's what I figured you were talking about. Yeah, that's where in a Lent fast, the 40 days, you don't fast on Sunday. So you have to count 40 days of fasting and go back further than 40 days before Easter because the 7 Sundays in Lent don't count as fast days because they're feast days. So, yeah, it's that same kind of thing. The reason for this is because it scrolled off my screen. The reason for this is because the ultimate fast day is an ultimate reliance on God one day a year. The ultimate Sabbath, we go to try to experience what the world to come would be like. Where do we derive pleasure from the material but are eternally sustained by the spiritual? Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, by use, saline drips are scarce since Helene hit. The biggest plant that made them flooded and was closed a long time. Oh, I did not know that. I knew there was some blood issues. I had not heard about the saline problem, Sunshine. But I'm sure that you've heard in your neck of the woods there. Okay. Let's find someone to go raid. This is a great conversation, and I love when people bring new perspectives in. Like, I know when we've talked about this before, Artsy was here earlier. I'm guessing he's probably lurking. Artsy Bible was talking about Ramadan and Ramadan fast because he has some knowledge in regards to that, which was fascinating to me. Oh, they were opening over here, but it wasn't popping on the screen. That's weird. Okay. Let's find somebody to raid. Oh, what if Yom Kippur, which is a Sabbath, lands on a Sabbath? Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Who do we got? We got lots of choices. Lots of What? Oh, I know where we're going. We are going there. 6-year anniversary subathon. Booyah. Booyah. Forgot about that. Double Sabbath. Artsy heard your name. Yeah. I was just saying you had shared previously some insights in fasting related to Ramadan, which I did not have knowledge of. All right. So we're going to go over to Papa Tsunami, who is 6-year anniversary subathon. It's awesome. It's awesome. There's so many of us celebrating in February. Why is there so many February celebrations? I don't know. But anyway, send you off with a blessing. May God seeking comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen, amen, amen. Looks like he's still got 35 hours almost on the clock to go on his. So we are definitely going over and rating him. Thank you, everybody. Blessing upon blessings upon blessings.
Flat cap on his head, he's streaming live. Reading from the book, the words so alive. A prayer in his heart that lifts the soul. In the digital world where spirits roll. Hallelujah, from the screen we scream. Join the pastor in the holy dream, spreading love with every verse he reads, planting hope like precious seeds. He's a shepherd with a virtual flock, leading us to faith around the clock. Tapping amen as we raise our hands in this sacred digital land. Don't need a pew to find the light. Through a screen he's shining bright, preaching peace and guiding us right. In our hearts his fire ignites. Hallelujah, from the screen we scream. Join the pastor in the holy dream, spreading love with every verse he reads, planting hope like precious seeds. Chat is buzzing with the gospel truth. Every line a fountain of youth. Bible open pages turning slow. Feel the spirit start to flow.
Tsunami Gaming family, make waves. Appreciate the follow there.
Chat is buzzing with the gospel truth. Every line a fountain of youth. Bible open pages turning slow. Feel the spirit start to flow.
Showers are like the key to victory for only getting a couple hours of sleep for these subathons. I gotta get a shower. It makes me feel better. Porn. I'm still coloring the book. How far are you in the coloring? Hi Ryan, how you doing today, Ryan? Hi Sunshine, how you doing today, Sunshine? Happy 6 years. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's been a fantastically phenomenal 6 years. A lot slower than before. Oof. Your picture looks like PewDiePie energy, but you now have 2 week hangover energy. Yeah. It's like I was up till 4:30, I think. So I snagged like a Yeah, about a 4-hour nap. No, it was 4:45, nearly 5 o'clock when I finally fell asleep. Yeah, so